we got 10 minutes, so let's kind of manage the trades that we have. Cena is acting fine. That's what we want it to do. BIDU is, it's down a little bit, but it's in its range. And the reason we're watching these two is because these are the ones we want to leg into. And let's look at, real quick, let's look at Google. Google's dropping here. So we want this to pin at 5. We're looking for a 535 pin. Hold on, let me make sure that's the one I got. You can see it's actually getting its brain beat in here. So I bought the 530s and sold the 535s looking for a 535 pin, right? Well, what are we doing? We're dropping like a freaking stone here. So on this particular one, what we're looking at here, you can see on my Google. So on the ones that I bought, I'm down on my 10 contracts. I'm down $2,000. On the ones I sold, I'm obviously collecting a lot of the premium here. I'm up 800. So I'm down on the trade. So you have a couple of choices in a situation like that. I mean, this just got freaking annihilated. It's dropped like $4. It's not what we were looking for, right? So, we can cut it loose today and just kind of see if that's, what we're looking at there, or I mean, let's go here and look at looking at the open interest again. So open interest, 535 open interest on the calls is the same. On the puts, 530 is a little higher. You see that 530 is just, that's what's winning out right now. So you'll see sometimes like that when the put side will win out. Google can be, it can kind of go all over the place. Google, by the way, on expiration day can jump 3 strikes sometimes. So I am, let's see here, 535. We got about 7 minutes. All right, so let's Google. Is Google doing what I wanted it to do? No, it's absolutely not doing what I wanted it to do. So my choice is take it off and take my lumps. You could also, if you didn't have a full position already, you could add to it. Am I going to add to it? I am not. Okay, that was not part of my plan. Or you could actually just wait and see, the next day if it managed to pop back up. The reality of it is that this is not doing what we want, so I want to cut it loose. Okay, so for Google here, so on this particular one, that's great that we're making money on the ones that we sold, right? But we ain't making any money on the ones that we bought. Right now, we've still got some premium, $2. That's going to disappear tomorrow, right? So I want to close this one out. I do not want this trade anymore. It is not doing what we want. And so I want to get this, I want to get out of this like now. So it's confirm and send. We've got an order working. Okay, we'll give that a few minutes. All right. And I think I just got filled. Yes. Okay, so I'm flat on Google. So we lost money on Google. All right. And that happens. But let's look at the other ones that we have. What we want to track is overall. Okay, so we lost $1,600 on that one. But we want to track, remember, you want to track all the pinning and how much money you make or lose on that. So now let's come back here and look at Cena. Okay, Cena's acting good. We got a few minutes here. I'm almost tempted to wait for tomorrow morning, like a gap up on that. That acts really good. BIDU, because remember, we're trying to sell the 120s. And it's very possible that we gap up tomorrow into 120, and that's when you sell them. Now, BIDU, we're already above 135, so that's when we actually want to sell. We were just seeing if we could actually get a little bit better price for it. VJ, for Amazon, I'm going to pass on it just because I've already got enough positions to manage, but it's one that you can do, yes. Sorry. That's probably right into the mic. Okay, so let's come over here. We're going to trade. Let's look at BIDU. The 135s have popped up here a little bit. Are we rallying? What's this stock doing? Yeah, it's running a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and sell those. We don't want to sell 100. We want to sell 10. Okay, we got those. All right, so we just legged into that one, so it's pretty nice. So if we would have done that vertical at the very beginning, I think they were at like $1.20 or something. So we got a nice little kicker on that one. All right, so what about Cena? See, here's the tricky thing on Cena. I think we could get like $1.50 for those $120 ones. So trying to see if it's going to pop up. You can see Visa's rallying here. Oh, let's look at Visa, see if that's the $80 ones have popped up. See, they're still 16 cents. So let's see if we can, let's wait till tomorrow on that. BIDU we have for Cena. I don't know if it's Cena or Sina. It's one of those things, like, again, we're trying to sell the 120s. I think we're going to get to 120, so I want to wait till we get closer. So we're going to wait on that one. All right, so let's take a look at where we are. So Apple, flat, BIDU, making a little money there. Google, we lost money on. Cena, we're sitting on the calls that we bought. And then Visa, we're sitting on the calls that we bought, okay? And we're going to close in 3 minutes. So if I'm going to do anything else, I better do it quick. Take a look here. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. We got our plan of attack for tomorrow. And we're good to go. All right, so now let's focus on some questions here. And we can watch CMG too here after the close. And we're almost closed. Just kind of watching here. Cena's closing good. Nice closed. There goes BIDU, catching a little bit of a bid there. ES question. I've been waiting for ES to take off. Finally. Oh, there we go. 377 tick fired and started to move. Do you go all in, all out during the close or scale out? I like to scale out. Could you put a GTC limit order to sell V or Cena at an acceptable price? Yes, Walker. Yes, absolutely. At this point, because we're going to be here at the open, you know, for some reason I was going to miss the open, then I would have, you know, put in a GTC order. But this time, now we're going to be at the open. So what we're trying to see here is if we can get a little bit of a gap up to play with. Do you normally exit these trades before the close on Friday? Absolutely, yes. So okay, so tomorrow, and we'll talk more about the exits tomorrow, but what you can do is, the big question always is, well, let's say that the ones that you sold expire worthless, and usually, you know, maybe they're like 5 cents or something like that. Do you let them expire worthless or close them out at 5 cents? A lot of times I just close them out at 5 cents. I mean, that way you don't have to worry about it. You know, you're done. But I'll talk more about that tomorrow because there's some particulars that you have to know about on that. Can we concentrate on stop loss tomorrow? How are they determined? Yeah, it's just a money management stop. So, you know, let's see where Google came down. Google came down hard. And usually you don't see a move like that except on options expiration day. And you can see it bounced a little bit here. So it could actually still pin at 535 tomorrow. But the main point of that was that, you know, it already came down to 530. So if it had just kept on going down, 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 you know, the $1.80 of premium we had left could have gone to zero. So at that point, it's like, you know what? We got to just man up and take those losses. You know, that may have just been a little kind of a dead cat move there. So it's a little tricky because we could certainly still pin at 535 tomorrow. Okay. All right. Now, okay. So tomorrow morning, and by the way, if you guys have questions, my plan is let's do some questions today. But my plan is tomorrow is to then we're going to go through the exit strategies tomorrow, and then I want to make sure you guys understand everything. Okay. So that's my plan. Tomorrow we're going to start at 8:15 Central, 15 minutes before the cash session. We're just going to kind of monitor where we are, what's going on, and then from there we'll kind of monitor these trades in real time. Some of the ones I'll keep, you know, some of the ones will exit, you know, after the first hour or two. Some of them will keep later in the day, and I'll tell you exactly how I'm going to manage those. But the plan is to be done with the webinar, you know, after a couple hours. It's not going to be an all-day thing because after the first couple hours, there's nothing to do. All right. Yeah, Stuart, we'll cover that more tomorrow too about the earnings plays. Okay. All right. So if you guys have any pressing questions for tonight, I can spend a few minutes answering them. But honestly, my plan for the Q&A session is really tomorrow after we start exiting these trades. You guys can see fully how to do these from start to finish, from soup to nuts. And then obviously, you know, I'll spend as much time as you guys need tomorrow to do that. Okay. Question, can you share an updated copy of your trading plan on the website? Yeah, you know, I think the one up there is like from what, 2004? Gosh, time flies when you're having fun. So yeah, I can do that. Also CRM and possible crush on volatility. Yeah, so we're going to actually watch CRM in the morning too for potential directional play. And by the way, that trading plan, even though it's from 2004, the idea of it is not that different. So it's not totally outdated. It's just, you know, I'm definitely focusing on some slightly different markets now and stuff like that. But the main thing is just that you want to have an idea of what you want to focus on. Will you roll into some reversion band option trades tomorrow after the pinning stuff is settled? Nah, Mike, usually this pinning stuff takes my full attention. The thing about it is like the bands and stuff like that. I mean, you can just, those are more swing trades, and you know, we can look, but really pinning is a very full-time trade, and you just got to focus on that. You don't want to get too distracted. You don't want to do things like do a webinar, you know, while you're trying to do that. But I'm bummed. Have I traded the grains for the last couple of days? No, I've been watching them, but I've just, on the daily charts, they've been so modeled, but then, you know, we're actually getting some pretty decent movement out of them now. I'll make sure, Gary, I'll make sure we have some updated workspaces uploaded into the download area. One sentence definition of pinning, where a stock price is literally pinned to the let me start over. When the stock price is pegged to the option strike price with the highest open interest. Oh, the radar screen package of 3. What is that? I don't even know what's on that. But let me show you what I've got on my radar screen so you can see. So obviously I've got the stock. Implied volatility, that's something that is included with TradeStation. The TTM trend indicator, that's ours. I think it's very useful for long, short, squeeze. What I really like with this is I can sit there and say, oh, wow, the TiVo is got blue TTMs and is in a squeeze. That's good to know, and then over here we got the reversion bands, and you can sort and say, all right, let's see all the stocks that are at an upper band cross. So, you've got a handful of stocks that are doing that, or how many stocks are hitting the lower band. Okay, there's not a lot. I mean, those extremes have been hit. And then if we go to the middle band, there's a ton. And that's actually very telling. So we've had an extreme to the downside, and now there's a lot that are crossing their middle, and there's not that many on the upper, so there's some room on the upside. And then, of course, the waves. I like this too. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of go along and say, all right, I like to sort by squeeze. So I can just kind of sit there and say, okay, so, here's, NTAP is the stock, but look at this. You can just look at this and say, gosh, the TTM trend is long, it's blue. There's a squeeze, the momentum's above zero, that's why it's long. We just started this squeeze. And then the A, B, and C waves are all above zero. Okay, so let's look at that stock, because obviously there is I don't even know what the stock, I haven't looked at that stock in forever, but obviously there's some powerful buying going on in that stock, and apparently it wants to continue. And, boom. So we go look at the stock and say, wow. Yeah, I mean, that looks great. This is a stock I'm now going to add on my list to make, buy some options on the next pullback here, because we've got the A, B, and C waves above zero and another squeeze forming. And then, so that's great. I mean, and then it took me like, 4 seconds to find that. You know how much of a pain in the ass it is to find, like, sifting through all these different stocks. So that's why I like those indicators and everything, and doing it like that. Yeah, so you can do a couple different things. So here's what I do. So this radar screen right now, the interval is daily. So you want the daily for the swing trades, but you can change it to, like a 5-minute chart if you're looking for day trades, or even a 377 tick chart, although that can bog down what you're looking at. So what I would do is, if you're looking at day trades, pick the 5 stocks you want to day trade, Apple, Amazon, et cetera, and just use those like on a 377 tick chart. Will the new waves or any of the new indicators be available on TOS? We're going to actually go up to Chicago next week for the seminar. I've got a couple of meetings with Thinkorswim, and we're going to see. Oh, let's see. Is CRM going up? Up 12. Wow, nice. So we can go here to properties. Let's do 24-hour. That would be up. It'll be interesting to see where it is tomorrow. Time and sales. So that'll be interesting to see, and see how that affects, some of the stocks that we're in and everything.